This is the only time you would ever put your mouth to the holding tank hose. When it's brand new.
You have anything else to say?
Nope, let's go ahead and put this on.
The one thing that makes owning a boat and living aboard possible for us is the fact that Sean does basically everything. Every repair, with few exceptions, all of the routine and ever-growing list of maintenance items, all of the weekly cleaning, the quarterly hull diving, replacing anodes, oil changes, engine checks, woodworks, electronic stuff, you name it, he does it. Or it's on his list of to-dos. And although I'm trying to help where I can based on my technical abilities, Sean is pretty much Freedom's very own Mrs. Doubtfire on steroids. While this is mostly good, it can certainly lead to something that nobody seems to talk much about. So today, we're going to ditch the fun adventures and more entertaining parts of boat life to keep it real and talk about the very real issue of boater burnout and offer some helpful tips to avoid it. Sean, would you rather be on a beach right now?
Oh yeah. I'd much rather be on a beach right now. Instead, I'm changing the gray water tank pump. Gray water discharge pump. The old one burnt out. You able to hand me the pump? For a 17-year-old boat, by the time I'm done with it, it'll be like new. I don't think there'll be anything we haven't replaced. We've got a new gray water discharge pump. As soon as it pumps down the tank, it should shut off automatically. So if it turns off, I think we got a winner chicken dinner. There it is.
We got winner chicken dinner! Woo!
Now the hardest part of the job, getting out of here.
Getting out. So that's really it?
Yep.
That was easy.
Yeah, not too bad.
I think diagnosing problems is the harder part. One of the most frustrating parts about working on a boat is always having to squeeze in and out of tiny spaces. So if you're claustrophobic and have the cash, our tip number one to stay sane is to just pay someone else to do the work and spare yourself the headache.
Ta-da! So I had a recent breakdown with boat work. Just sometimes comes at an overwhelming pace. None of it's planned. When it's not general maintenance, when things break, you need to get on them. And when you're busy doing something else and you don't want to get on it, it's an inconvenience. But after you sleep on it and you just digest it, it's not that big of a deal. You get the part, you change it, and it's back in working order, then life is good. So we're all good now, till the next problem.
Yeah. Tip number two, and a very important one to keep in mind, is to be aware that you'll likely have 1 to 3 emotional meltdowns per year of boat ownership. This is totally normal and usually consists of making irrational comments such as, why do we own a boat? Is this even worth it? Boats suck. I hate boats. Will this ever end? Etc. But don't worry, these meltdowns usually subside as the work gets done or within a day or two, so just ride it out.
Today's the day. We're going to pick up our refinished tabletops for the salon and the pilot house and our reupholstered bench seat that's in the pilot house. So anxious, maybe a little bit nervous to see how they turned out. I hope they turned out well. We'll know in another 45 minutes or so.
Oh my gosh. gosh, it's like the same exact cushion.
Well, it should be.
And the stitching looks nice.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed. Oh, I want to cry. The tables look terrible. There's like these dark blotches that were not there. It doesn't have the high gloss finish or the gloss finish that they had before. Sean went in to see about the Pilot House table. I'm guessing that's just the same, probably not any better, but it's so sad, especially because we didn't need to, this wasn't a need to do project. This was just, let's clear up some of these blemishes and a crack in the salon table. And I kind of want to cry, but live and learn, live and learn. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Tip number 3, if something isn't broken or in need of an upgrade yet, don't fix it or attempt to make it better, because you might just end up with way more headache, heartache, and expense than you bargained for. Today we are finally getting to our black water hose project. We started this, gosh, it's been over 2 months now, maybe even 3 months. We started it, Sean did the first section, and then we ran out of hose. And he knew that might happen. He wasn't sure how much to buy, because the way you have to buy it, it gets pretty expensive if you overbuy. And it's not easy to return. So that's why we just did the first part first, to just see what it was like, see how much we would need. And then we had to wait another 5 weeks to get the additional hose. And then we got super busy. We had some travel in there. And honestly, we just didn't want to do it. It's a pain, and it's smelly, and it's gross. So today we're going to finish. Or actually, no, this is part 2 of 3. It's a 3-step process. I'm getting suited up. Sean's not. And we're just going to hope for the best. You've never been that excited to do projects before?
I'm just excited to get the project started. Half the time of doing a project is running around and getting all the crap you need.
Huh, you said crap. Was that a pun intended or no pun intended?
Oh.
You know, poo.
Actually, I think it probably becomes like 3/4 of the time is preparing, getting materials, and 1/4 of the time is doing the project.
Tip number 4 is to run all project-related errands on a different day than the day you start the project, because you'll start the day less annoyed, more motivated, more energized to get the party started, and the project will feel like it went that much faster. So I had a little bit of a panic attack that, oh crap, we're not going to have a bathroom for the whole day, or maybe even 2 days. And then I remembered, by doing this, since we did the other head last time, we're only down 1 head. So if you're looking for a boat and you need to decide between 1 or 2 heads or more, go with 2. I know this isn't a experiment or anything, but definitely feel like I should be a doctor or something. So let's get this party started. Okay, the real question is, do you need to get suited up?
Nah.
Do you need gloves?
For some parts, but not right now.
Okay.
Right now,
Ready?
I just need to get access to everything.
If you're wondering why we're replacing our Blackwater hoses in the first place, it's because they're 17 years old and recently started to show their age in the form of a slight yet noticeable odor, and not a very rosy one at that. So the new hoses have a lifetime warranty, they're made in Italy, and who doesn't love things made in Italy, right? And they'll hopefully make freedom smell like new again.
flushing as much nasty stuff out of the hoses as possible so they're clean when we take them off. Clean-ish. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is this is the one of the hoses that we're replacing. We're going to start at the toilet end and then work our way to the tank. So I've flushed all the water out of the toilet. I'm going to pull this discharge hose off. I'm actually going to take my shop vac and put it in reverse. I'm going to try to blow everything that's in the line down to the tank to try to eliminate as much water as we can, so when we're taking the hoses off we don't create a mess. So I'm going to clip a couple zip ties and then I'm going to take the hose clamps off from the toilet fitting. I'm going to slowly take it off and then we'll use pressure from the shop vac and we'll try to push the water down to the tank so there's as little water as possible in there.
As Sean attempted to pull the hose away from the toilet and through the hole in the floor, we both realized it was completely stuck and not going anywhere without a fight. So we had to remove the entire toilet, which then cracked a portion of the fiberglass, adding yet another project to the to-do list, along with needing to enlarge the hole later so he'd be able to more easily fish the new hose through. This project became a bloomin' onion in no time, which leads me to tip number 5. Always keep in mind that the rule of threes applies not just to death and other life tragedies, but also to boat issues. If one thing needs your attention, it's best to assume 2 or more new issues will arise at the exact same time. So plan accordingly, and maybe practice some deep breathing exercises.
So there's 2 pieces?
That's it?
There's 2 pieces?
Yep.
This piece and then that other one?
There's another piece that comes down.
Oh, I thought it was one continuous piece.
Yeah.
So you don't wear gloves?
What's the point? They just tear and
Get it your way.
About 10 seconds after his little spiel, Sean finally put his gloves on. I think I scared him the more I sat there and talked about how nasty it would be to be touching finely aged fecal matter.
now we're gonna, this white hose that's coming out of that hole, I'm gonna undo it from the siphon valve, tape it off, and then we'll take the hose off from here down to the Y valve.
All right, what you got there?
Anti-siphon valve. You can take this and just set it on the dock, but hold it upright like this.
Oh.
Don't tip it.
Oh.
Removing the remaining hoses wasn't as hard as we thought, so that part went relatively smoothly.
All of the old hoses are out. My hands are clean.
And it smells like lemons. What are you using?
Scrubs in a bucket.
That smells good. It doesn't smell like poop.
No.
Not bad.
So next, I'm going to take out that old Y valve and I'm going to mount the new one on the wall here. And then I'm going to clean up everything like really well. And then the only other thing I need to do is make the hole bigger underneath the toilet so it'll be easier to fish that hose in. And I think once that's mounted, cleaned, and the hole's bigger, then we're ready for the new hoses to go in. So I'm going to take the hose reel out on the dock and I'm going to lay it out with the old one so I can mark them, how long I need to cut them. And then since there's a metal wire that runs through the new hose, I'm going to use a grinding wheel to cut the hose. That seemed to work pretty good when I did the other stateroom. So,
Cool.
Now, a little bit of cleanup work, mounting this and cleaning up. Just hold this upright so the poo water doesn't come out of it. That's not too disgusting because we replaced that like a year ago because the old one broke. So it's just our poo that's seen that valve, or that valve has seen. It's not Johnny McVie poo.
Bummer.
You could probably sell that on eBay.
Yeah. Johnny McVie poo valve.
If you didn't know, a fun fact about Freedom is that Johnny McVie from Fleetwood Mac used to own her. The next few hours consisted of a deep cleaning of the bilge, as in every last inch got a scrub down. Then measuring the new hose using the old hose as a guide, cutting the new hose, and then finally installing the new hose.
This is the only time you would ever put your mouth to the holding tank hose. When it's brand new.
Do you have anything else to say?
Nope, let's go ahead and put this on.
I don't know. Do you have something like philosophical you want to say? What was your last fortune?
That these head hoses will go good and they will be done today.
Okay. I think it's good.
As Sean wrapped up this project, it didn't all go smoothly, like when he needed to redo a hose that was about 1 centimeter too short, which led to another brief emotional meltdown due to hanger, overwhelm, and being sick of being stuffed into small spaces. Remember tip number 2?
So we are officially done with phase 2 of the Blackwater hoses. It was a little over 8 hours today from the moment we left the boat to run those final last minute errands to pick up some parts. I thought I could be more helpful today. I had high hopes of being more helpful, but one, it was a lot cleaner than I had thought. So the hazmat suit from earlier, that I ditched that pretty quickly. There was no poop flying or anything like that. It was relatively super clean. And in these tight spaces, it's nearly impossible to have 2 people working on a project like this. I was mostly there for moral support and being there to grab him tools when he needed to, because he got into some pretty compromising positions. And I can't imagine doing this by yourself, where you get down there and you're hunched in a ball and you forgot a tool or you realize you need something. So that's pretty much the role I played. And now my most important role was that I ordered up Sean a pizza from his favorite pizza place here in Ballard, Patchy's Pizza. As you can imagine, it's Chicago deep dish. So he's in the shower right now and he will have a nice warm pizza in not too long a time. So I hope you enjoyed coming along for this ride with our black hoses. And I really hope the next time we see you guys, we're out on the water. Peace.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed getting to see some of the not so fun but oh so necessary parts of living on a boat, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you next time when we finally get back on the water and back to answering all of your questions about life on a boat.
Pro tip, if someone's changing your Blackwater hoses, buy them a nice dinner. It'll help make the whole project better. Or they'll forget about it.